Using Critical Thinking While Doing Your Own Research, by James Mann. Think about the amount of water on Earth. For a globe believer, water curves around a spherical Earth using gravity, which, by the way, is still just a theory unproven. And we are told you cannot prove gravity from Earth, which is kind of convenient for those deceiving us. The truth is, water does not bend, and always seeks level, meaning it cannot bend around a spherical Earth. And we can prove water doesn't bend by measuring distance over water that disproves predicted Earth curvature. Over water observations is my favorite way to prove Earth cannot be a spherical planet 25,000 miles round. This single photo, taken from an 85.5 foot eye level, disproves curvature predictions to 28 and 46 miles. When Eric Dubé told me Earth is not a spinning ball in an ever-expanding universe, I started researching. First, it reminded me of Genesis chapter 1, our creation story. So I watched Eric's 200 proofs for a non-spinning Earth. When I reached the section about curvature, and Earth curvature calculators, I thought of this island, Alot. It is visible 28 miles away, while I am walking Dennis Beach, New Brunswick with a 5.5 foot eye level. I didn't know anything about the island, so my first research project was to learn about it. Using Google Earth, I learned the island is Alot, about 14 miles from Nova Scotia. It has a high spot of 328 feet. I also learned about Earth curvature calculators while watching Eric's video. Here are the results when I entered my eye level and distance. My eye level was 5.5 feet above sea level, and the distance to Alot is 28 miles. These calculators say there should be 421 feet of Earth curvature, which would block the 328-foot high island 24/7. I start my walks at Dennis Beach by walking down a steep gravel hill, from 80 feet above sea level down to 20 feet at the beach, and then I walk down to as close to sea level as I can get. This photo was taken from the Dennis Beach parking area, where my eye level is 85.5 feet above sea level. Let me show you the results when I enter my 85.5 foot eye level into an Earth curvature calculator. My eye level is 85.5 feet above sea level. Alot is 28 miles away from my camera. Earth curvature calculators predict 185 feet of Earth curvature, leaving 143 feet still visible. I just proved that Earth curvature calculators, based on an ball with a 3,959 mile radius, is wrong, and I have never had them match what I measure in the real world. Now let me show you a few things that destroy the globe model childhood programming from public school, also known as indoctrination into a false reality. We should not see any of the island below that red line, showing Earth curvature calculators don't match reality. Another thing that is a problem for the globe is the fact we can see mainland Nova Scotia at least 14 miles further than Alot. Let's take a look at that, and see what the predicted curvature is. I am looking from Dennis Beach, from an 85.5 foot eye level, where I disproved measurable curvature to 28 miles. Port George is 46 miles from Dennis Beach. Earth curvature calculators predicted 800 feet of Earth curvature, just to the shoreline of the mainland, which is less than 200 feet above sea level. This means we need to look further inland to find where 800-foot elevation is. I had to go to 51 miles to find 800 feet. The thing is, now I have to recalculate to find the predicted Earth curvature to 51 miles, which is 1,049 feet. There is no land on this line of sight that is that high, again disproving the predicted Earth curvature to 51 miles. To make things even worse for the globe model, as well as Earth curvature calculators, is the fact I could see even further down the Nova Scotia coastline, which calls for even more of that predicted Earth curvature, which never matches reality. Let's take a look at that. Take a look at this screen capture. It shows that the Nova Scotia coastline is moving away southwest from my camera, demanding even more predicted Earth curvature. I tried to make the mainland more noticeable, so you can see how far we see. Now notice that light to the right, that's 63 miles from my camera. The light is a cell tower 63 miles away, 770 feet above sea level, with a tower height of 300 feet, for a height of 1,070 feet. The light is at 1,070 feet, but there should be 1,700 feet of predicted Earth curvature. Note that there is no land even 1,000 feet high on this entire line of sight, again destroying any credibility that the creators of these Earth curvature calculators have. From my 85.5-foot eye level I showed there is 143 feet of missing curvature to all out 28 miles from my camera. Today the hill is too dangerous to walk down. I will take the gorge path as it's not quite as steep. I want to see how long I am able to see the island, before that magical curvature blocks it. My camera is now at 70 feet above sea level, looking 28 miles to all out. Earth curvature calculators predict 210 feet, that's 5 feet below the bottom of the split. And that means we should see nothing below the split. Not only do we see below the bottom of the split, we can still see mainland Nova Scotia, which should now be blocked by 852 feet. Note that there is no 852 feet of land on this line of sight. With my camera at 60 feet there should be 228 feet of predicted curvature, which would be just above the bottom of the split at 225 feet, yet we still see plenty of island below the split. Again, I want to point out the fact we can still see mainland Nova Scotia 46 miles away. There should now be 889 feet of predicted earth curvature. And that is only to the shoreline, and again, there is no land on this line of sight 889 feet high. Critical thinking time. The curvature, that should be blocking the island, would also block the mainland, but there it is, still visible. We are still seeing plenty of all out below that split. How far off do these earth curvature calculators have to be before you will stop denying and start using critical thinking, and doing your own research? We are still seeing plenty of all out below that split. I am at 20 feet above sea level, with my camera at 25.5 feet. There should now be 317 feet of earth curvature, leaving just 11 feet of island visible. From the 328-foot high spot to the bottom of the split is 103 feet, and we still see below the split. I was going to walk out to the sand at sea level, but it was just too wet and slippery. I did get down to 3 feet and the island still wasn't blocked. Remember, I disproved Earth's alleged curvature from 85.5 feet above sea level, as well as to a cell tower 63 miles away. As a Big Bang heliocentric believer, you may have many questions you are itching to ask me to prove, but please realize, you have never actually proven any aspect of globe Earth, outer space, gravity, or the Big Bang. You only believe those things because you were force-fed those lies as truth from early childhood, through parents, grandparents, government-funded public schools, TV, movies, the internet, and even the news. And you believe so strongly, that you never feel the need to prove what you were fed as truth from childhood. Globe believers, stop following and swallowing deceivers like Simon Dan and Professor Dave Explains, and a long list of others, who are making a living lying to you. Everything to do with the Big Bang is deceptive programming. There is not a single truth in any of it. It's why it had to be taught to children who had no critical thinking skills, as adults would never have bought into it. It is illegal child indoctrination, designed to hide our Creator, the one true God, and to dumb down the entire population. It's time to prove what you believe.